A young woman she met in Europe described her in a poem as being relentlessly friendly and commendably confident in her own skin. And that opinion was shared by almost everyone from all walks of life who met her. From her peers to the senior citizens of the church hiking groups whom she accompanied on several expeditions. Her 16th birthday fell shortly after a backpacking trip to India with her mother. And when we asked her what she would like to have for a birthday party or a birthday present, she informed us that she could not in good conscience spend money on herself while people around her were living in poverty. She made and we accepted a proposal to rather make up gift bags for the children in a nearby informal settlement. And she duly accompanied Mr. Kwekwe, our gardener, to Redhill, where she dispensed her party packs. This was also how she celebrated her subsequent birthdays at home. When she enrolled in the University of Stellenbosch, Hannah informed us, I must admit somewhat to our dismay, that she had absolutely no interest in pursuing a career in law. According to her, she wanted to do something that would actually help people. I hope that doesn't go wrong with the officers of this court. It wasn't quite clear exactly how she intended to achieve that aim, but she presented a well thought out and eloquently argued plan for her future. She would major in languages, literature and philosophy, which she loved, and then pursue postgraduate studies in France. The theme of helping was a constant in her life, and I understand it may have led indirectly to the reason why we are here today. If that is indeed the case, then I'm even more proud of her. Me and her mother were immensely proud of raising a child for the new South Africa, a child without the baggage of our generation, with little interest in money, material things, with no prejudices regarding race, religion or social standing. A remarkable child on the cusp of becoming a remarkable woman. My wife, in addition to being my best friend, was the strongest and most competent person I've ever met. She became a shadow of herself, inconsolable, frantic, almost manic in everything she did. Ultimately still in control, but inside she had very little to give. There was very little substance. She turned her back on a successful law practice and plowed every bit of energy she had into the foundation with absolutely no regard for her health or any other practical considerations. No one really knows what happened on that early morning when she decided to go swimming in an ice-cold and stormy Atlantic Ocean. For myself, I do not believe that she committed suicide or she ended herself. But what I do believe is that she did not have the physical or mental strength left to counter any difficulties that she may have experienced. My son Andries does not understand the concept of death. Every night when I put him to bed, he stops in front of a framed photograph of Hannah and asks, when her holiday is over, when is she coming home? Hannah moet nou huis toe kom, haar vakansie is nou klaar. This has now been going on every night for a year and a half. For myself, I find it difficult to express exactly what I feel. I was medically boarded, well short of normal retirement age. I'm sure that had certain financial implications. I haven't yet gotten around to considering that. But even without a medical discharge, I would have resigned from something that I've done as a vocation for 35 years. My concern was that I had no doubt that I could not have maintained the impartiality that is called for by a judicial officer. And if I could not do that, then I had no right to be on the bench. The most obvious observation of the effect of what happened is the manner in which my life has contracted. There is no real joy or anticipation, no hope or expectations for the future, no goals to strive to, just the obligation to give my son as much of a life as he can have for as long as he can. Still, I did not come here today to elicit sympathy, and I can't help feeling guilty about the publicity that this trial has gathered, when the most vulnerable members of our society, the women, the children, the elderly, are seemingly assaulted, murdered and abused on a daily basis, and not an iota of the attention is paid to the majority of those cases. I do not know why. All that I know is that my daughter would have agreed that it is not fair. I'm well aware of the constraints placed on this court in imposing sentence, and I fervently hope that the court will consider imposing a sentence that will at the very least prevent other parents from going through what we have gone through as parents, as far as the accused in this matter is concerned. Thank you very much, Your Honour.
Personal circumstances on record and to address the court on sentence. So the court was born on the 3rd